Hey folks, Rob here, bringing another unbagging. This is going to be a volume 2 of Wacht Rhein from Lone Canuck Publishing. So I just picked up volume 3. There it is. And I'm going to unbag this. And because I'm crazy, I decided to buy my own copies of 1 and 2 because Dave already has them. And I'll be going through the counter sheet that I missed out on during volume 1 of Wacht Rhein. So let's see what's in the bags. All right, so first up we have our counter sheet. Again, this comes with Wacht Rhein Volume 1, and it contains all the counters, special counters you're going to need to play George's scenarios for all 3 volumes. So we have Volks Grenadier 547s. Now, Multiman Publishing, of course, has generated their own Volks Grenadier. I believe they're 538s or 537s. I'm not sure right now. I still haven't punched out my Twilight of the Reich counters yet, but so let's take a look at that. Very nice clean artwork on the front, and you note you got the 548 units as well with the Fallschirmjäger symbol in the top right corner, so you can use those. 838s with the Assault Engineer demo charge, so you can use those, and it does have the increased smoke exponent as well. And then more Bangalores. I think George uses Bangalores in almost every scenario. And to be honest, I'm not a fan of the leader counters. They look kind of cartoonish actually, but I'm glad that he's got names assigned to all of them there if I would focus. Then at the very bottom we have some American 347, 667 with the Assault Engineer demo charge on it as well. So rather than using 838s, you can use your 667s with more Bangalores and armor leaders. It's very sketch look and point, but on the back, again, your typical artwork. And if you look at the product registrations, looks all very nice and clean. Very excellent work there, George. Well done on your counters, I think. I really like the Lone Canuck Publishing counters. But again, except for the leaders, they're just, I don't know, they're just something cartoonish about it. But I do like the multi-man counter artwork. Alright, so as per, I'm going to be blocking off the orders of battle. Just so that you have to get this thing yourself. It was quite reasonable. I picked up all 3 volumes. I think I want to say it's 105. It was only cost me $11 shipping here in Canada to ship it halfway across the country. So overall, not too bad for what you get with 3 volumes. That's a lot of scenarios. And like I said, the counters that we just saw. So this is volume 3, and we have 9 scenarios. Again, Wacht Rhein is the Battle of the Bulge. That was a German name for the offensive. And this deals with the 1st German Army as well as the 5th Panzer Army during the Battle of Bulge. So this is like typically we're used to SS, Kampfgruppe Piper, that kind of thing, but these are non-SS units that were also part of the battle, and just never, I don't think many scenarios were made of them. So as usual, George lists all the things you need to know. A very lengthy article on Bangalore torpedoes. Again, he has these in most of his scenario packs, and they should just add it to the rules, I think, because of its versatility. It's treated much like a DC. That's basically what the rule book says. It's treated like a DC at half firepower, but they serve so much purpose besides just blowing wire. You could string, because the nature of these Bangalores, from my experience, has been they're like 6-foot section that you can screw together, so you can make, you know, as long as the thing as you want to blow a path through minefields even. So it's not just for wire purposes. Obviously you can use it as a weapon, but for destroying defenses, it's not a bad thing to go. So we talk about American forces during the offensive. This is all from the veteran 28th Infantry Division, and let me go with the German forces, which include the Volks Grenadier, as well as the Fallschirmjäger Assault Engineer replacements, and then the Fallschirmjäger themselves. and then of course the Volksgrenadiers. Now, like I said, these have been written into the rules as of Twilight of the Reich. I believe they are 537s, so you're going to have them anyways. And I wonder if George is going to lower his down to match the ones that come from Multi-Man Publishing, but honestly, I doubt that. I wouldn't. All right, so numbering it continues on. So this is number 17, Wacht am Rhein, Great Deal of Blood, 2 boards, 56-4, 7.5 turns with an estimated 8 hours and 40 minutes of playtime. Wow. Something else George does is with regards to concealment counters, typically the defender always has a variable number. So you, the attacker, will never know exactly how many are dummy counters and how many are just concealed units, because you can make a secret die roll, have rounded down +3, which means you can get anywhere from 4 to 6 extra concealment counters. So you don't, again, is it 1 stack? Is it 3 stacks? You don't really know. This scenario has a mixture of fortifications and guns for the defending Panzer Grenadiers, and American armor, very armor heavy. We're looking at like 10 tanks, 11 tanks, and a good half dozen or so half tracks as well to carry on the 9 squad that you have. That's very armor heavy. And Fallschirmjäger, for their part, have a single Panzerschreck. Now, they will have, of course, an Herr Panzerfaust, but they also have an 88 long anti-air, as well as a 50 long AT gun. But 1 Panzerschreck to do the number. Number 18, the good old days, boards U and 4. Now, U, I believe, is a starter kit board. All the ones with the lowercase letters, I believe, are starter kit boards, so you will need access to that, or just do it on Vassal. This one is 8 turns and 6.5 hours to play. 8 SSRs, including the special rules that come with the scenario pack. So we're talking, again, the different unit types as well as Bangalores and such. Americans set up first, Germans move, and we have a mixture of guns, fortifications for both sides. Fortifications for defending Americans, and a lot of armor for both sides. Again, that's very armor heavy. We're looking at 9 Shermans, and the Germans are bringing on 9 Stugs, 3 Gs, so a little bit better. But luckily, there's none of the Fireflies in play, just the M4A1s and M4A3s. Montgomery attacks. 3 January 45 uses one of the double wide boards and 2 half boards, 2 and 39, to make up the playing area. 7 turns, 5.5 hours, not too bad. Quite reasonable. 6 SSRs. German infantry and AVs have winter camouflage. That's always great. All British units are airborne infantry equipped with gammon bombs. Wow. So they have the ATMM, which adds a -2 to their close combat resolution. So the 10 648 paras will have the gammon bomb capability. That's very cool. Tank heavy again. We're looking at 7 for the British variants of the Sherman. There is 2 Fireflies. That's the 76 double long upgraded Shermans. And the defending units are mixture of first line and a couple of Panthers, along with fortifications. Very nice. I like this one. ELR 3, SAN 4 for the Germans. ELR 5, obviously because they're airborne, and a SAN of 2 for the British. That's very cool. All right, number 20, Geronimo. Once more, we use 10A, the double wide board, and probably a third of boards 42 and 39, 7.5 turns, and 6 hours of playtime. This one sees the King Tiger come into play. And the Germans are defending. So usual assortment of equipment. And we have the M36 GMC, which I want to, is that the Wildcat or the Wolverine? I'm not sure. Um, uh, Tank destroyers, so 90 longs. They should do a good business on the Tiger, King Tiger, of which is only one. And the Americans do come on with 5 of those M30s, so it's going to be, or 36. It's going to be a bit of a King Tiger hunt. I do like the double wide boards, becoming more and more popular. Number 21, Hill 510 must be taken. 17 Zulu is the board. Now, I'm not sure what that one is. Maybe it's a double-sided board. I'm really not sure. And board 84, 7.5 turns, and just under 6 hours of playtime. We have SS Pioneer Battalion 12 with 12 SS Panzer Division. That's the Hitler Youth Division. Entering with just engineers, really, and 5 Mark 4J tanks. Very nice. And then we have Americans setting up in defense. They have 3 tanks to their side, a crap load of minefield factors. Again, a variable number of concealment counters. And they have OBA, which is never lost. So this is, I believe, the Pleva rule, where you just, if you draw a red chit to cancel the fire mission, you return to the pile and then you add a second red chit. So you're never going to lose access. It just gets harder and harder to get your black chit. Very nice. Number 22, Black Panthers, 3 full boards, 9 turns, and just shy of 10 hours to play. So this is a big one. And the unit count reflects that. So there's, what, 18 German squads, Germans setting up in defense. You got tanks, guns, and fortifications, including a PaK 40. Yeah, 3 of those, so that's pretty good. And the Americans move first, coming on. They do have reinforcements on turn 3, and Germans have reinforcements coming on turn 5. Americans will have, looking at like a dozen tanks. 10 tanks. 10 tanks, and it looks like 23 or so infantry to do the business. Black Panthers. Now, it's funny they call Black Panthers a scenario, but they're Panzer Mark 4Js in the German OB, so I'm sure at the time, at least what happened after D-Day, from what I've read, a lot of the Allied units thought every tank was a Tiger or a Panther, so probably until you get used to the AAV recognition, you could probably see it. All right, so number 23, Lightning Joe. 2 boards, 8 turns, 7 hours, 45 minutes to play, and 8 SSRs. One thing George is good for is a lot of SSRs, and they're fairly unique to the, well, to his style at any rate. So we have Germans setting up, Americans moving first. Looks to be some fortified buildings, given the fortification counters. You do have 2 Panthers for the Germans. And squaring off against that, you have 7 tanks, all variants of the M4. None of the Fireflies to deal with that. And you have 667 assault engineers for the Americans with flamethrowers and DCs, as well as an outboard observer. Number 24, Ridgeway's failed pincer. We have 2 overlays on board 17 Zulu, Open Water 1 and Orchards 3. I believe that's Orchards. And we also have board number 3 as well. 7 turns, just shy of 5 hours, so this is, it's almost tournament worthy. And we have Americans attacking Germans. Surprisingly, for a Lone Canuck game, it's quite low on tanks. There's only 2 Stugs. But you got 14 German squads and 18 American squads to make up for that. Should be good. All right, next up is 25 Angry Bees and 3 full boards. So this is going to be a big one. 8 turns in almost 9 hours. 1 minute shy of 9 hours. Interesting statistic. 10 SSRs. We have Ordnance coming in for the Americans. And the Germans don't have any. So this would be a 2-pager. Looks to be a decent sized number of units. You have 12 American squads, 5 tanks, plus some guns in the defense, fortifications, and what have you. Then on the German side, we have not too bad. It's 17 squads, a couple half squads, half tracks, as well as looks to be 1 tiger, no, 2 tigers, 2 panthers, some Stugs, and some Panzer IV-Js. So you have 4 different kinds of armor for the Germans, and it's a mixture of 4.67s and 6.58 SS on the attacking side. And then finishing off volume 3, we have our playtesters. So again, it's a nice big list. Good to see. Very nicely done package. All right, so there we have volume 3, Wacht am Rhein. So we went through the 9 scenarios and the counters that came in volume 1. You get them only in there. So you're going to need volume 1 if you want to play with his counters for the other scenarios. So all total, 25 scenarios, 3 scenario packs. Again, 105, 110 bucks plus shipping. Very reasonable price, I think, for what you're getting. And it deals with something besides SS versus, 747s. A lot of mixture of troops, Volks Grenadier, and 667 assault engineers for the Americans. So Tigers, King Tigers, what's not to love? So I'm going to have a busy December, I guess, playing some of these. Hopefully Dave and I can get a couple games in. But we'll see how that goes. Catch you guys next video. Bye-bye.